Orale and hola, me llamo Jose Hopkins. And that's pretty much, yeah, I'm not doing this whole thing in my terrible Spanish, okay? I only speak poquito. Pretty much I can order food and drink, hit on chicks, and pick a fight. That's, what else do you need, really, right? And I'm tired because I got home late last night because I saw Mana, and they took the stage late and had a really long set, which that's fine. I'm cool with that. And I've noticed most of the words of his songs, what I can understand, will get you either laid or slapped if you say that to the right person, right, or wrong person, or you might get punched in the face. But it's good stuff, right? Lot of sexiness in the music. I dig that. Personally, I've been a Mana fan for a very long time, right? One of the biggest rock bands in the world. Excuse me, I'm like, it was late night. Anyway, I love them. One of the biggest bands in the world. My wife introduced me to this band in 1996 when I started dating her. This and some other Mexican rock bands that she got into when she was living in Mexico. And, back then they were, they'd had some hits. They were a pretty big band, but not like now. At this point, they are one of those bands that you go to see them and you're not hearing all the hits. They have too many hits to fit in one set, period. But, there you go. I'll tell you, their set was about little over 2.5 hours, right? 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that. A nice long set. It was a long set. I enjoyed it. If you want to see clips, I'm going to play very short clips. I don't want, YouTube getting all angry about copyright. They'll be later on in the video. We'll put clips in there, okay? There was no opening act, which by the time they came on, I was glad of that. They were scheduled for 9 o'clock, which is kind of late. Most of their shows are 8:30. This one was 9, and they didn't actually come out till about 9:30. So the show didn't even end till almost midnight, which great show. I love a long set, but it means I didn't get home till like after 3 in the morning. So yeah, but I'll tell you about the show here, okay? First of all, their singer has lost nothing off his voice. Nothing. They sound pretty much like them, but better live. And their drummer, honest to God, man, this dude is one of the best drummers in the business. Hands down, right? My wife saw them back in 98, 99 when they were on tour for their Sueños Líquidos album. And she said this was even better than they were back then. Like, amazing show, right? I should have gone to that show with her. I didn't because I had to work that night. And where's that job now, right? Nowhere. That's where. I should have went, but I made up for it, right? I can tell you, I don't know if it's like this at every venue they play. Probably is, I'm guessing. This was hands down the loudest audience I have ever been a part of. The audience was loud. This was pretty much karaoke night, and the entire arena was singing every word of every song. There were times when I couldn't hear the singer. Actually, a lot of it, I had trouble hearing the singer because over the crowd. There were times I had trouble hearing the band. It's like all you could hear was the kick drum and the crowd. And it was an amazing show. Part of it was the connection. They connect to the audience so well. The audience seems like it was ready to be connected to, right? I can tell you, very excited audience, very rambunctious, but without the violence. I've been around really rambunctious audiences, but usually it's like right on the edge of mayhem. This was not that. They were all happy, really chill, but very loud, very into the whole thing. It was really, really awesome. It is really cool to be in a crowd that is connecting that hard to the audience or that hard to the performers. Just such a connection. And when I say they were the loudest audience I've been a part of, keep in mind I've seen Metallica, I've seen Rage Against the Machine, Wu-Tang Clan. I went to see Wu-Tang back in the 90s when they were like the whole clan was still alive. This audience was louder. They were really, really loud. I don't know if I could stress that enough. I had to put earplugs in because of the crowd more than the band. At some point, I'm like, the people around me are way overly, like, they're going to make me deaf. All right, but the show, right? They played pretty much, it was all hits, except for, like, they did one traditional song. They had the little part of the set where they go to the stage at the back of the arena. A lot of people do that now. They have a little stage back behind the sound booth, and they did like a traditional song. Other than that, it was all hits, right? That little set in the back. Bands, whenever they do that, a lot of times they'll do their more acoustic stuff, their more toned down stuff, that kind of thing, like a more intimate setting kind of thing. And yeah, same thing here. But yeah, other than the one traditional song, it was all hits. All of it. And they didn't even get to all their hits. Going in, I kind of wondered, if for anybody that doesn't know, they did an album with Carlos Santana, and I was thinking, okay, that was a big album. It had some hits on it. Are they going to do any of those songs? They did 2 of them. But the one that really, I'm surprised they committed to it was Corazon Espinada. And I was a little surprised because once you start playing it, you've got to play Carlos's parts, right? You got to play Santana's parts. And their guitarist did it. He did it. Not as well as Santana. He played the notes. It wasn't, and I'm not saying Manav's guitarist is bad. The dude's amazing. But he's not Carlos Santana. And I was just kind of surprised that he committed himself to that kind of a workout. You know what I mean? I can say their drummer, what's his name? Alex something. He had one of the most amazing and probably the longest drum solo I've ever seen. That dude, you kept thinking, okay, that's it. He's done. And he keeps going. And he comes to a big finale. You're like, okay, he's done. And then he keeps going. And it wasn't boring. Some drum solos get a little old after a while. Now, this guy was entertaining the entire time. The dude is entertaining, hands down. It is an amazing show. If you don't speak Spanish, it's still an amazing show. And it is truly a privilege to be part of an audience that is connecting that well to the performers. It was just, everybody was so hyped. Like I said, they were singing every song and they were really into it. And that's fun. That's fun to be part of something like that. Now, they're connecting to a cultural heritage, which isn't really mine. It's partially my wife's, but still, connection is connection. I really dug it. I really liked it a lot. I was really privileged to get to see this concert. If you guys get to see them on this tour, man, go check it out. Seriously. They played some of my favorite songs of theirs, which I'm not going to name because, once again, my Spanish is not great. And I'm not going to mess up pronunciations. And they might be different songs than what are your favorites. The one, something San Blas, it was off of Seños Líquidos. I'm glad they did that one. I love that song. And Corazon Espinada, which I love that one. I'm a big Santana fan, so, you know, the album they did with Carlos Santana, yeah, and the one about the butterfly, Mariposa, Mi Amor, something like that. I love that song. I love that whole album. The whole album was Santana. Great album. That and Sueños Líquidos are probably my favorites. And they did, you know, at least 2 off of the album with Santana, which I don't remember what it's called because it's a long Spanish name, and whatever. I like the music. You know, what can I say? Yeah, absolutely awesome show. The singer is so damn good at his age to still be doing it at that level and missing nothing. Like, the dude's lost nothing. That's really not terribly common. Most people, they lose a little bit off their voice over the years. You know, I went to see Robert Plant, and he's lost a little bit. He's older than these guys, but, you know, everybody I've been to see that's been around a long time, most of them, they lose a little bit over time. This guy, I don't think he's lost nothing, as far as I can tell. Really, really, really excellent. They put on a great show, and it was incredibly entertaining from beginning to end. without a lot of the normal show stuff. There wasn't pyrotechnics. Obviously there's lighting, but nothing over the top, nothing really crazy, no laser show, nothing like that. It's just them playing their music. And it was really, really good. They are incredibly entertaining. Whether you speak Spanish or not, these guys will entertain you. And I really liked it. It's got to be entertaining when you're playing from 9:30 to almost midnight, right? Almost 2.5 hours. One of the longer shows I've seen. I've got to say, it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. I've seen some amazing shows. This is right up near the top, right? Like in the top 2 or 3. Absolutely spectacular. These guys just are absolutely amazing. Amazing musicians. The songs are so good. And, with Spanish, I understand more than I speak, so I get a lot of it. And I've been listening to them for so long, I know what they're singing about. But even if you don't, the songs themselves are so good. The melodies are so good. The song structure is so good. You can get into it without understanding it. And I say that because, a lot of the people I'm talking to don't speak Spanish. A lot of you guys don't. A lot of you do. A lot of you don't. A lot of you speak like a little bit. You don't need a lot to really dig this music. Music in general, you don't need to speak the language. Personally, I like music in Spanish. I like a lot of French music. I love that, like Louisiana and East Texas Zydeco stuff. I have no idea what they're saying, but the music's great. It's the same with Mana. Absolutely amazing songs, amazing music, amazing band. They're worth going to see. And I don't know what my wife paid. It wasn't a ton of money. We're up in the cheap seats. You'll see it from the clips that I play here at the end. We're up in the back. I kind of like the back. I don't mind it at all. Some people, they gotta be down front. I don't mind being up in the back. Plus, we saw them at the arena in Baltimore, which it might be different where you are, but Baltimore doesn't have a very big arena. Even the back, it's not as far back as it is at a lot of other places, right? So it was good. It was an awesome show. And like a lot of shows that I've seen in the last, 6, 7, 8 years, it wasn't super loud. When you went to a rock concert back in like the 90s, early 2000s, even back in like the late 80s when I started going to shows, a lot of times they were really ear-splittingly loud. And this one wasn't. None of the shows I've seen recently were overly loud, which I appreciate. I like that. You don't need to destroy my hearing for me to have a good time. I got to save what little bit I got left. So I do appreciate that. And I was absolutely blown away, right? Because plain and simple, man, the songs are the heart and soul of what makes any band really good. You can have great musicians. If they have terrible songs, you don't want to listen to them. Mana has some of the best songs in rock and roll. Period. Even not understanding what they're saying, the melodies are great, the songs are great, it's put together wonderfully, the musicianship is top-notch. They're just an absolutely great band. Top to bottom, left to right, one of the best out there. It's why they're one of the biggest bands in the world. In my opinion, it's probably because they're one of the best. And they write such good songs. It's why they've had so many hits. And it's why you're not going to hear all the songs you want to hear in their set list. You're just not going to. They play hits from beginning to end for almost 2.5 hours, and they don't even begin to touch all their hits. They're one of those bands. They've had that many hits. It's like if you go to see U2, really. I went to see the Scorpions, and it was the same thing. They have so many hits that you're getting maybe a third of their biggest hits in one set. To do all their hits, they have to have 3 sets. So you're seeing a third of them each night. Mana's the same way. You're not getting all the songs you really want to hear. They're gonna have a lot of hits in this set that you go see. And what you see might be different. They're one of those bands that can have an A set and a B set and go back and forth so it doesn't get too boring. A lot of bands that have been around a while like to do that because otherwise you don't want to play the same thing every night, you know? So they might have that. They might have an A set and a B set. They have enough material for it. God knows. They could do a 6-7 hour set and, you know, still have songs that they didn't play. So there you go. That's my review of that. You know, I bought the shirt. Of course I bought it outside the venue, right? I know, support the band, all that kind of stuff. They got enough money. I'm not paying $40 for a t-shirt in the venue for the official shirt. I want the knockoff shirt sold by a guy out of a duffel bag outside the venue. That's what I want. $20. It's not even about the money. It's just they're always the cooler shirts, man. What can I say? I've always got the cooler shirts outside the venue. So maybe you'll have the same thing where you guys are. If you go to see him, you'll have a dude selling shirts out of a duffel bag. Grab one, man. Support your local hustler, man. He's hustling. He's making that money. He's doing what he got to do, right? Support your local man. And yeah, go see Mana. Check it out. It's worth your time. They're an amazing band. They put on an amazing show. Be ready for a long show. It's a long show. It's not the longest I've been to, right? The longest I've been to is almost 4 hours. That was Chris Cornell. That dude just went on and on and on and on. He's like, I'm playing everything. It wasn't that long, but it's a good long set. I was glad that they didn't have an opening act, because by the time they came on, I'm like, if they got an opening act, the sun will be coming up by the time I get home. So, but yeah, definitely worth your money, definitely worth your time. Check them out. And yeah, I love you guys, right? I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.
Toditos tus rincones, déjame entrar en toditos. Esta canción se la queremos dedicar a todos nuestros seres que se han marchado a las estrellas, a todos esos seres que hemos despedido y que se han ido a las estrellas, pero los seguimos pensando, los seguimos amando, a sus abuelos, abuelas, algunos mamás, papás.